Hi, I'm Bob Ethington.
And I'm Nicholis.
And this is From Akron and Beyond. Hello there, everybody. Bob here, and there's Nick over there. How you doing, Nick?
Good. Good morning, Bob.
And we're I'm very excited today.
Yeah.
I think you are as well,
And
Nick.
honored
to boot, for our special guest today, who is Joyce Lagios. And Joyce
Lagios.
Lagios. What did I say?
Whatever it wasn't correct.
Okay, let me start again.
It was good.
Joyce Lagios, who has been with the Rubber City radio group for a long time, right? Am I correct?
Yes. Just recently retired.
Just recently.
Okay, so we thought it would be great to have her in because we love talking about local media, local radio specifically. I know Joyce from years ago, when I was with the Akron Library. I would come in once a week and with Ray Horner and talk about books and talk about other pop culture things, music and what have you. And how long has Ray been there, Joyce? Like, is it 25 years?
We just talked about it. He's about 30.
Oh, 30.
About that.
Okay, so because I was actually on before he came to the station. I began before him with
Right.
Mark Williamson, I think.
Yes, yeah.
And then Ray came, and so Ray is to this day thanked me for introducing him to Luigi's. He never, he came and he was looking for Italian
Luigi's.
food, and
He
I was
loves them.
I was the one who took him there for the first time. And,
we had Myron Vernus on, another friend of ours who took Jay Leno to Luigi's, who became a big fan.
That story on there. Except he was mad because they comped Jay and not him. Remember?
Oh,
Yeah.
Anyway, that's another story.
I love that.
You can listen to that episode to hear the
Yeah,
whole
we're
story.
talking about how I've known Joyce forever. We go to the same church, Annunciation Greek Orthodox Church in Akron, and served on the board together.
Yes, we did.
Many years ago.
Yes.
Right. So I was going to get to that, Nick, but just to finish up my point. So I would be on every week with Ray, but then, to me, the reason I asked how long it's been is that's a long time. Boy, time's flying, isn't it? 30 years.
Oh,
Jeez.
man.
But occasionally I would see Joyce on a regular basis because you were working there, and occasionally you would fill in for Ray. And so I did a few times on the show with you and always enjoyed it. So when Nick brought you up as a suggestion to bring you in, I thought, sure, we'd love to have Joyce in. So thank you so much for coming
You're
in.
more than welcome. When Nick asked me, I said yes right away, and then I walked away and said, what did I just say?
What did I agree to? Well, you're here now, so
Yes.
it's too late. So, Joyce, are you from Akron originally?
I was born in Greece.
Oh, really?
Oh, okay.
I didn't know that. That's great.
Yes, I was just a little kid, about 4 years old, when my mom and my brother joined my dad and my other two brothers. They came to Akron because of the rubber factories.
Like my dad, too.
There we were.
Wow.
Where in Greece were you born?
I was born in the port near the port of Greece, in the hills. I mean, I'm a Greek hillbilly. I really am.
Well, it's me, too.
And it when I went back, a few times, it's fabulous in the hills. The water running down the stream. Mm-hmm. Oh my gosh, you could, you drink it right out of
it's just so pure and blue.
Oh,
yeah.
And the fruit, and it's beautiful. It's absolutely. But I was up there.
Mm-hmm. And then, so how old were you then? When
4.
4. So you're just a little girl then when you got here. Okay. And then did you go? You went to school here and stuff, I gather?
Of course. I have a story about that, too.
Yeah. Sure, lay it on us.
I wrote down stories.
Oh, cool.
I don't know if you guys want to hear them all.
Well, lay it on. That's what we're here for.
Less work for us.
One time I was interviewed for the Beacon, and they did a background story, etc. And one of the things I
Background check
said,
on you, Joyce?
yeah. Maybe take me back. I can't be president. You know that,
right, that's
because
true.
I wasn't born here.
That's true.
Yeah.
But they may need me. Well, the thing is, I said to the person, I went to Grace School, and that became a place where you can buy things, a store.
Yeah, it was the Schoolhouse Antiques.
That's it.
That was a great place.
Okay.
Yeah.
Then I said I went to West Junior High, and that became an elderly place.
Yeah, overlooking the cemetery.
Overlooking the cemetery. That's terrible.
I know, isn't it?
And then I went to Central.
Okay.
And that became Central Howard, no longer Central.
Yeah.
And I jokingly said, good luck, Akron U. I did. So I received a letter from the president at the time, and he said, read your wonderful, story in the Beacon, et cetera, but don't worry, we'll exist.
Oh, yeah.
Lovingly. He said lovingly. It was wonderful. It was wonderful.
But still, you were leaving a trail of destruction behind you.
I'm telling you. Good luck to the church.
No.
So what got you interested in working in radio?
I didn't know what I wanted to do. I really didn't.
Like a lot of us.
And, everybody said, at the time, you should become a teacher. No, that's not me, et cetera, et cetera.
Mm-hmm.
So I interviewed at WAKR.
Okay.
There was an opening, and I interviewed.
May I ask when this was?
This was about 50 years ago.
Wow, okay.
Can you believe it?
And what type of position was that?
It was nighttime switchboard operator.
Oh, no.
Okay.
But, it sounded fun.
Sure. Mm-hmm.
So I went and I interviewed. Well, to make a really long story short, I got the job.
Okay.
I had no idea how to work that board. I told them that I had worked it before. I lied.
Yeah, sure. That's what you do.
I got the job. And one of the questions that the gentleman who interviewed me said, you're a young, good-looking girl. You can't say this nowadays.
Yeah, right.
I don't know. There's some guys around here. And I looked at him and I said, I can handle them. He goes, yeah, I'm sure you can. So he hired me right there. He hired me. And I did.
Was that his warning, you think, maybe?
I think so.
Uh-huh.
Oh, it's great.
When
Nick, were you around there?
No.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
No, this was before Nick. And I went on my first. They had to teach you. They always have to teach you what to do.
Sure.
And they did. And I was okay until one day everything lit up. And it was the kind that you pulled out.
Mm-hmm.
You
like
in.
in the Three Stooges.
Yeah, exactly. You
Nick with
answered.
his references.
What I care about.
Intellectual references, yeah.
And, I can't explain it. It was one of those, you plug in to
It's
answer the phone.
like in the old movies, right?
Yes,
right,
exactly.
Yeah.
Operator.
They were all filled.
Okay.
And what happened was a light came on, and I was told whenever that light comes on, you answer it.
Okay.
Because it's the owner.
Okay.
And I saw the light, and I had nothing to answer it with.
Right.
So I took them all down.
Oh!
Because if they called back, I'd say, oh, I'm so sorry.
Yeah, sure.
We got cut off.
Right.
And I answered that line.
Yeah.
And that was how I learned the switchboard.
That's
so
great.
was there something happening that all these people were calling, or was it just a coincidence?
It was just
coincidence. You're right.
Yeah, coincidence. They just happened to call at the same time.
Maybe there was a contest or something going on.
Yeah.
Now, we say WAKR, but there's 3 stations that were part of that group. Am I correct?
AKR, O&E, and QMX.
Okay, and that's still the case, right?
Pardon?
That's still the case.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
No, at the time, no.
No, okay.
At the time, it was AKR. It was TV 49.
Oh, yeah, okay.
And it was WAEZ,
Okay.
Easy Listening.
Right.
Now, Easy Listening became O&E.
Okay.
AKRs, obviously.
Right.
And TV 49 became TV 23, and then it, was bought out.
Right.
And went bye-bye.
Which is unfortunate, I think.
Oh, my God, yes.
Yeah, those are the days when Akron had its own newscast and everything.
And Akron is, am I correct, is like the largest city in Ohio that doesn't have its own
Probably.
Television station. Yeah.
Well, the sad thing is it's like businesses. I remember O'Neill's downtown.
Sure, right.
It had to close. Well, it had more people coming to shop when it had to close than when it was open.
Oh, sure.
Right,
It's just like that. With TV 23, people didn't look at it as a television station because it wasn't ABC TV 5. They couldn't in their mind think that TV 5 was TV 5. They
Right.
were not ABC. They were an affiliate.
Right.
TV 8, they were big time because they were from Cleveland.
So does that mean that on hit shows in the evening, it would only be on the Cleveland station?
No, on ABC, we were an affiliate.
Yeah,
So
it was
you
on
did-
both. I
okay.
remember that. Yeah.
And Cleveland went ballistic when we became an affiliate because now they had a different audience.
Right. Right.
So,
Yeah.
but
You
people
were cutting into their audience.
Yeah,
right,
absolutely.
right. And I remember watching Channel 23 because it was better reception in Akron than getting the Cleveland one.
Yes,
Yeah,
yes.
Right.
But we didn't have the advertisers.
Sure, right.
We didn't have the viewers. And it was sad.
Yeah.
It truly was
Yeah.
because it was a fun place.
Yeah.
It really.
So was the TV well, okay. First of all, the offices of the Akron Radio Group, as I know it, are on Market Street,
Now.
West Market.
Now.
Yes. So when you began, were they there?
No, they were on Copley Road,
Oh, I remember that.
right by Bookdale High School.
Sure.
Yeah,
I think I remember hearing about
Something
that.
just happened with that building a year or two ago.
they tore it down and it became a gas
Joyce
station.
had worked there, so of course they tore it down.
Yeah, I left and that was it.
No, what just happened? They just tore it down for.
They tore it down. Somebody else bought it. It used to be a movie theater.
That's right. It was a cool building.
AKR started in the First National Tower.
Yeah.
In downtown Akron.
The big tower at the top.
Yeah.
That was before me. Go figure. And then they moved out to Copley Road, which was an old movie theater. The back part was TV, and the front part was radio.
Oh, wow.
It was a fabulous place to work.
Yeah.
It really was.
Yeah.
Man.
And then it moved to Hawkins.
Okay.
When radio was sold and TV stayed on Copley and AKR and O&E moved over to Hawkins.
Oh, okay.
And it was, I don't know how to tell you where it was. It was near the expressway.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
It was really good. Mm-hmm. It was easy to find, easy. And then it was sold again.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you, I tell the story. When we were sold to the Mandel family, he was, being given a tour. Mm-hmm. Tom Mandel was going to be.
They're pretty a real local philanthropic family, right?
Oh my God!
Yeah,
huge,
big time.
Huge
donors of the hospitals, right?
Huge in Cleveland too.
Yeah. Anyway.
But when they were given a tour, I happened to get by him. I saw him and I said, "Hi, my name is Joyce Lagios." He looks at me and he goes, "I know who you are," and walked away. And I'm going, "Oh my God, I'm going to get fired. I'm going to be fired. This is it."
So we met, right, Bob?
So, yeah. And then we moved over to West Market, where they are now.
What can you roughly when that would that have been? It's hard to say.
I'm not good at dates.
I'm just curious.
None of us are.
Names,
well, I'm just curious
times.
because that building is a real period piece.
Which one?
The one that where the radio station is now.
He owns both buildings.
Okay.
AKR, O&A, and QMX, and 105, the new
Yeah.
What's
the
that?
new one. It's
newer?
young kids.
Oh.
Yeah. It's a Cleveland area station.
Oh, run out of Akron?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay.
And it that's one building. The other building is offices and businesses.
Right.
It's a great place if you have an office because it's near everything.
Yeah,
And right in front is a bus stop.
Ah.
Right. Oh, yeah. Right. Yeah. Plus, you're right by the grocery store and all kinds of places to
absolutely.
eat and everything. No, when I say a period piece, I just mean that it unfortunately, I'm not wise enough or knowledgeable enough to know what I'm talking about here, but it seems like a very 70s building to me, or late 60s, just the architecture of it. You know what I mean? Just the design
Let me
of it.
tell you, my dentist used to practice when he first started out of what is now Tom Mandel's office.
Okay.
That's what many years ago.
Right.
Many years ago.
Didn't Dr. Tom Adams have an office there?
Yes, same area.
Yeah, another fellow Greek.
Another fellow Greek. Absolutely.
Yeah, I used to go there.
I'm not surprised. Nick got a deal on his teeth. Right?
No, that was the eye doctor.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he was. He
Still
was.
can't see very well.
But it was more, didn't cost much though. So Joyce, okay, so you get your start working the switchboard. Obviously, you moved up from that position. So how did that all happen?
Well, I don't remember how it happened, but something opened up, and they asked me if I wanted, to be the record librarian.
Okay.
Oh, really?
I'm curious to hear about
Oh, that's
this.
great.
Yeah.
And
It was like right
it
up
was
my alley.
Yeah, me too.
it was an area. Don't ask me questions about it because I can't.
But you know what? Back then, it was just 45 RPM records, right?
Yes.
Yeah, because it hadn't gone to
And
the
then
album.
CDs.
Then CDs, yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, I would file everything. I would pull the records that the guys needed to play.
Oh, they gave you a pre thing. Oh,
yeah.
okay.
And I would talk to the different reps of the record companies when they came in with the program director, just so I knew what I was doing.
Because back then, it was almost all music and a little bit of news.
Yes. It was news. And music and news were probably 50-50.
Okay.
Joyce, do you remember one day like someone from Mercury Records coming in and handing you a Bizarros record and you saying, "What's this crap?" and just throwing it away?
Just throw it away. Goes in the cutout.
No, I wasn't allowed to be the decider.
Oh, okay.
The PD did that.
Gotcha, okay.
The program director was a decider.
But back in those days, all the major record labels had some kind of a sales office or a warehouse in Cleveland.
Yes.
So you were really close with them.
Yeah.
Wow.
And they always, would come in on, the PD would have Mondays, set aside just to talk to the record guys.
Now, I'm sure that the programming was more formatted than some of the free radio that we've talked about.
Right.
That was
over the
before.
years.
It was before then.
And it would have been, yes, but even in the time she's talking about, I mean, it sounds like it was a little looser because they were actually coming to you and saying, like, here's the stuff I'd like to play, as opposed to it being an absolutely in stone list that no one was. Yeah, so that would be more creative, more interesting, right? Yeah.
It was interesting to me a lot.
Yeah.
You got to be at the beginning of something.
Sure.
And with records, speaking as someone who was a librarian for many years and worked in the audiovisual area, this is going to sound silly, but you really got to put that stuff back exactly where it belongs. You won't be able to find it. You know, I mean, albums all thin, records all thin. You know, it's like if it's not where it's supposed to be, it could be anywhere.
I had a huge room.
Mm-hmm.
I did.
Wow.
With even with the LPs.
Yeah.
You know, we had a lot. They still do.
I was going to ask if they still have this library or if they got rid of it. You know?
No, they have hundreds of LPs still in the basement at the new place.
Yeah.
They have hundreds of 45s.
Still, wow.
Still.
Wow.
And they're in some order because I had to pack them to bring them over when we were when we left Hawkins. I had to pack them to take them over to West Market.
Right.
And there's some really good ones in there. I mean, really good ones.
So this is From Akron and Beyond. I'm Bob Ethington with Nick Nicholis, and we are talking with Joyce Lagios, who has a long career working in radio here in Akron, and we're just kind of hearing about her story and her career. And when we had just last left off, we were hearing about her as a record librarian. Now, obviously, you moved further.
I moved
upwards, and so what was the next step?
The next step was promotions.
Okay.
I get to go to the second floor, you know, and I had a desk and a file.
Oh, right.
But that was exciting, too.
And
it wasn't a
that's
case.
an important job in radio,
Was
right?
that like advertising? Or
It
not?
is advertising.
Okay, sure.
You know, when you stop and you think about it, you have to make sure that your company is seen in a good state.
Oh, yeah.
And that you touch people, you know. You do it the right way, and you have fun. And at that time, I was probably making $1 an hour. Maybe that's a little more. I didn't care. Isn't that terrible? I lived at home. I got to do fun things and meet fun people.
Absolutely.
So, you know, it was fun. It was.
Who were some of the on-air personalities over those
I can't
years?
remember all of them.
We don't have to remember all, but
No. Jerry Healy was probably one of the biggest that we had. You know, I would think Jerry, I should have made a list. I didn't. I should have made a list.
Yeah. Well, it's a lot of names, but so.
Well,
it seems like
who's the gentleman who coined rock and roll?
Alan Freed. Yeah, right.
Where did he start?
WAKR. Yeah, right.
Before me.
For you.
Yeah.
Did you ever get to meet him?
No, but I was up at the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame when it first opened. And I met his brother.
Oh.
And we were talking, and he said to me, you know that Alan coined the phrase rock and roll at AKR. I said, I heard that. But Cleveland is taking credit for that.
They always do.
As they always do.
Yeah.
And he said, not true. And we joked, etc. And then the next time I was up at the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, we were doing a broadcast from there. And I happened to say that to the gentleman, whoever he was that was running the place. And I said, you know, Alan Freed's brother said, et cetera, shouldn't Akron get some credit? He looks at me and he goes, don't ever say that again. And walked away.
Really?
True story.
Oh, that's a great story.
True story.
Wow.
Well, we've always been snubbed, you know?
But yeah,
Looked down upon.
I have some great photos of Alan Freed
Oh, wow.
that people have not seen. And, you know,
Yeah.
it's fun to look at them. It is. It's fun to look at them.
Well, when I was at the station, there was just, you know, even in the hallways and in people's offices, some really interesting posters, photos, and things that were like memorabilia from the past and stuff. And I'll bet there's a lot of cool stuff there.
That's why I can't put together AKR's story because I keep reading everything and looking
Right.
and saying, oh my God, I remember this.
Right. These wide, this kaleidoscope of memories, right?
Oh my gosh,
Yeah. Now, for some reason, I'm thinking you were in some sort of promotions when I met you, even though you were on air some. Now, maybe
I was the opposite.
Okay.
I was more promotions. I was at one
That's what I meant. Yeah.
At one time when we were on, I forgot about this until you just said that. When we were on Copley Road, I was Cool K.
Okay.
Oh, really?
And at night, I had a show, even though I was on the switchboard. You can call Cool K, and she will help you.
Oh, wow.
And kids would call me like, I just broke up with my boyfriend. What am I going to do? True
so
story.
you did like advice stuff?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
wow.
That's good. Something none of us knew that. That's great.
Well, I keep saying about radio at one time, you could do anything.
Yeah.
Anything.
Right.
If it didn't work, you didn't do it again.
Oh, sure.
But at least you tried.
Right.
Wow. But yeah, that was one of my favorites. I even had an outfit. And I still have the top.
Yeah, you were on radio,
But I had, I made appearances. I did.
I see.
Oh,
Okay.
yeah. And it was fun.
Was it like a nurse's
fun.
outfit? Or?
It was really a
so
nice
cool.
looking outfit.
How interesting. Well, see, this is something that's come up on the show in various ways over the couple, I guess, 3 years now we've been doing this, which is the changes in radio, and how so tightly formatted it is now. That's a nice thing about the Summit is it's a little more like the old days. You never really know what you're going to hear, which is exciting. So much radio now is so predictable, right, with what you hear. But yeah, the kind of stuff you're talking about where they would just come up with ideas for different programs and stuff. It was so fun. And even, like public radio used to have some of that, and it's not the same anymore either. Now it's all national. You don't really have any local feel. It's unfortunate, I think. But I miss those days.
Yeah.
So, yeah, because, when I met you, I just remember you usually coming in with some sheaves of paper for Ray. You need to say this or you need to do this. So that was kind of a promotions thing. But then occasionally you were still on air because he would be gone or whatever and you'd fill in. Because,
once in a while. Very rare.
It wasn't often, but I remember we
rare.
did a couple of times.
Yeah.
I was on with you. But,
Man.
yeah, how interesting. Now, okay, so you mentioned Alan Freed. What's your relationship with music? Do you remember the music you first loved?
I was a Detroit girl.
Hey.
Oh,
okay.
I was a rock and roll girl.
All right. Yeah.
No grunge. I couldn't go with grunge. I couldn't go that deep. But I could go hard. I liked the old stuff. I liked mom and pop stuff too.
Right.
It was fun.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you, I did write down a couple of stories you might be interested
I'd love
in.
to.
Yeah.
Okay. Do you remember Chippewa Lake Park?
Yes. WHLO Appreciation Day was a competitor, but we look forward to that.
Oh, there you go. Well, the Gary Lewis and the Playboys were playing there.
Okay.
Really?
They were starring. They were the hit. They were the...
This Diamond Ring. What was the name of the song?
Yes.
Don't sing it, Nick, please.
I like the song, too.
Yeah, that's an okay song.
So 2 or 3 of us were going to go out from the station. And we did. And there was this guy sitting on a rock, just strumming his guitar.
Yeah.
Nice looking guy, too. And he was going to come up right before the Playboys. And we were running to get front row seats, etc. And he came up and he was really good, but we ignored the hell out of him. It was Neil Diamond.
Oh, wow.
Really?
It was hysterical when I think about it now. Ever since, Neil Diamond hit it big.
Yeah.
And he did right after that.
Yeah,
that
it
was
wouldn't have been
great.
much longer.
No,
Yeah,
that was his first hit.
Uh-huh.
So We ignored him. Go figure. You know.
We've talked about that, about the travails of the opening act, right? And and here's even a great example. He was the opening act, and it turns out
Gary Lewis.
Yeah, right.
For Gary Lewis and the Playboys.
Yeah.
And I made friends with one of his players, his bass player, I think, Carl Randall.
Okay.
I looked him up last night. And he died with an overdose many years ago. Nicest guy you would ever want to, meet. They were just all fun, and
young kids having a big hit.
Yeah. But we were all just sitting around. We weren't even drinking then. Go figure.
Yeah,
and
right.
he dies of an overdose.
I remember.
Lord.
I maybe shouldn't tell this story, but I remember being 15 years old, and none of us had a driver's license, and one of my friends snuck the keys of his grandfather's car. We went to WHLO Appreciation Day.
Oh, you did?
Yeah,
out there.
Yeah,
yeah.
All these underage kids. We made it home. Okay.
Yeah, statute of limitations hasn't run out on that yet.
Well, yeah, and the other one that I wrote down. Remember the Barberton Cherry Blossom Festivals?
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, we were part of that also. AKR was part of everything at the time.
Sure.
And Bob Hope was the star that they brought in.
He came all the way to Barberton
to Barberton High School. And we met him, at his trailer before it rained like it was never going to stop.
Wow.
And they canceled.
Oh.
So at the time, they said, this is a story I heard. I'm not sure it's true.
Mm-hmm.
And his people told Barberton, pay us what you were going to pay us.
Yeah.
And we'll send half of it back. It's not fair.
Uh-huh.
Well, for many years, I kept asking if he did, and he didn't. But I'm not sure that's true. I'm not sure. But yeah, Bob Hope, when he was a star.
That's amazing.
Well, he was huge, too.
But he did a lot of those kind of unexpected type of shows.
Yes, right.
Did a lot of stuff for free for the Army.
Well, famously.
Yeah, but then he did a lot of other stuff you wouldn't expect him to do.
Right. So I was, after you mentioned Carl Radall, that name rang a bell to me, and I did a little research on my magic phone here. So he was, later, he was the bass player in Derek and the Dominoes.
Really?
Yeah. So he's on that famous album, Layla.
Look.
Yeah, he's the bass player.
I
thought the name rang a bell.
He was on a few.
He was a session musician, so he was in a lot of other bands, but probably
good job,
to a lot of our listeners, most famously with Derek and the Dominoes, because that was a huge album. Layla and, Bell Bottom Blues, all those songs. And the name just rang a bell to me, and I was like, is that the same guy? And who knew that he was in Gary Lewis and the Play? I didn't realize that.
No.
So
he would send me.
He died at 37.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
He would send me a note from every place they stopped, and I would write him at the next place. We became like.
Pen pals. Or,
Just good buddies.
Yeah.
Just buddies.
Yeah,
That was all it was.
Yeah.
But I look at a photo of him then and the photo of him later.
Right.
You wouldn't recognize him.
Yeah,
No.
right.
It was like two different people.
Sure.
Right. Well,
Hard life.
but
my
and also just the style changed so much. If you think of what the guys in the Playboys looked like
Gary Lewis.
compared to Derek and the Dominoes, just the hair and mustaches and all that
It's
stuff.
weird. I actually 2 weeks ago I bought the greatest hits. Gary Lewis of Playboy.
Oh, really?
You
I
did?
swear to God, I did. Yeah.
Well, I believe you, Nick.
You know what?
That and an Arthur Lee bootleg at the same day.
There you go.
I have a few of his, of the Gary Lewis also. Yeah.
So when you were listening to music, so I mean, you probably being in radio, you just kind of had. I'm kind of gathering you just had really big ears, right? Like, I mean, you were listening to all kinds of stuff.
Yes.
Yeah.
You didn't.
And you mentioned Detroit. I mean, I don't know if this would be the same time period because, see, lived outside of Detroit in formative years for me, but those were the years of like, the bands like the MC5 and Iggy Pop and the Stooges and Ted Nugent and Bob Seger.
Yeah, this was later.
Okay,
Yeah.
so this would be a little later. Then.
Yeah,
okay.
yeah.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
There's something interesting. I remember there was a record store on Mill Street. It was called Ed Fred's.
Of course.
Ed Fred's Records in the 60s, probably before then, but I went to it in the 60s. And they had a big bin of DJ albums that the disc jockeys, if they didn't want them, they'd go and sell them to their... Was that a thing where...
I don't even remember that.
I don't think they were supposed to.
That's what I meant. I mean,
probably, yeah.
Because as promos always said, not for sale.
Yeah, it says on it.
Yeah, I know.
Stamp, yeah.
But there was I'd go there on a Saturday, me and my...
They would sell them.
Yeah, I got some good stuff.
Sure. So you recently retired, you say?
I did.
Okay, yeah. So
You said that like Edward G. Robinson. Yes,
yeah, Shay.
Well, I tell everybody.
Name my many voices. I'm going to have to be careful here. Sorry.
I didn't make a lot of money, but I met a lot of people that I would not have met.
Sure.
If it wasn't for that.
Right.
Earlier, one of my favorite people that I became close friends with was Joe Tate.
Oh, yeah, sure. The great Joe Tate.
Yes, from, when he Cavaliers,
right,
obviously.
Yeah. He was the best.
Before that, it was the Indians.
Yes, he was great at both. But with basketball in particular, because to be doing radio broadcast of a basketball game and make it actually like you can picture what's happening, it's not easy.
He used to say that he would broadcast for Mr. Gund, who was, blind.
Mm-hmm.
And,
yes.
Oh, sure.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll tell you a story about Joe Tate, too. The radio station sponsored a Cavaliers lunch at one time when all the players came in.
Oh.
You bought tickets for this lunch, and it went to charity, et cetera, et cetera. And every Cavalier that played for them, plus everybody behind the scenes, was there for the lunch. It was at 3-tier, at Tangier, et cetera, et cetera.
Sure, yeah.
And I had the honor of introducing Joe Tate.
Uh-huh.
And I was thrilled. I sat at the head table in between Mr. Gund and Joe Tate, and I felt like big time.
Yeah.
And I wrote what I thought was a spectacular, introduction. And when I finished, Joe Tate got up there and he goes, "What the hell was that?"
Oh, really?
That's when we became friends.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's so cool.
He did. He just looked at me in front of everybody. He goes, "What the hell is that?" I loved it.
You probably wrote this nice, very praiseworthy thing, and he was being Mr. Humble, right?
Well, yeah, I thought I was being very creative too.
Yeah.
Using big words and stuff that I didn't even know. But yeah. The other, I don't know if you know this. I was also a ring announcer.
Okay.
For boxing.
You were?
Uh-huh.
Oh, no. That's a great... Wait, I can't wait for everybody to hear this.
Well, when I was
At the Armory?
I did one at the Armory.
Geez.
But I did smaller venues.
Mm-hmm.
I was the switchboard at night, and, people came in for interviews, et cetera, and this boxing promoter, I can't even remember his name. God, I wish I would have written down all names. And he says to me, "Would you be interested in a side job?" And I'm going, I can afford, I can use the money.
Sure, yeah.
So I asked my boss if I could do that. And he said, "That's good for, the station. We'll get our name out."
Yeah.
And I said, "Okay." So I did. And I must have done a half a dozen boxing. It was horrible. I couldn't watch them box.
Oh!
Boxing is not one of my favorites. And I had
So you're like, ooh, no, don't hit him, no.
well, I had to sit right in the front row.
Sure,
no.
yeah. All the
And
sweat
the blood
and everything.
and the
Yeah,
sweat
right. Yeah,
and
yeah.
everything flew all over. But the people around were the nicest people I've ever met.
Mm-hmm.
You know, when I got into the ring, they would hold
Yeah.
the ropes open. And the Beacon did a huge story on that, you know. And,
Wow.
you know, when I look at that story, you know, once in a while, I go, oh, God, that was a different world.
What a great thing, though.
It was fun because it was different.
Sure.
Now, wait a minute. Let me make sure I have this clear. So you got in the ring and like announced the fighters, or
No.
did you?
Yeah.
You
yeah.
actually covered the fight for
no,
the radio.
No. You know, when the person gets in and says, and in this corner,
Yeah, right, yeah.
wearing number
Yeah.
32 or
Yeah.
whatever, weighing 120 pounds, and that's what I would do.
That was
Oh,
you. Okay,
okay.
right. Okay,
and
okay.
that's the only thing I would do.
Gotcha.
all
So,
right.
okay.
And I wore this one-piece outfit.
Right, okay.
And my hair is, you know.
Oh, I was thinking she said, Eddie she got a good one in the ropes.
He's on the ropes.
The only thing is, it's a pretty vicious sport.
Of course it is.
You
sure.
know?
Yeah, when you're
and that
close
people
to
really,
it.
they really like it.
Yeah, right.
Holy moly!
Can you imagine
Right.
now that it's gone to the mixed martial arts?
It's even more so, more vicious. Yeah, yeah. I think we're getting a kind of a theme here, which is that Joyce, who remains a quite attractive woman,
Oh,
obviously,
thanks.
obviously was quite the hottie when she was young, getting these jobs. Like,
Yeah, you're out there in front of her.
yeah,
Let them see you.
put her up there in the ring. Watch out for these guys when you're at the switchboard.
That's
I
cool.
did have a good time. I did
So
have
good.
a good time.
And that was your first job out of college?
No, no.
Oh, okay.
I worked during college, since I didn't know what I wanted, for a Rosen, Mueller, and Tersini law firm. Mm-hmm. And the good thing about this law firm, part of them are still around. The Rosens are. Mm-hmm. The son is. They would hire, Mr. Rosen was on the board, or, you know, of the university.
Yeah.
And they would always hire college students. And they hired me. And what I was supposed to do, they paid everything. They paid all the taxes. Whatever I got clear.
Oh, wow.
I didn't have to pay anything. They paid it. It was a good job.
Yeah.
And I could come in when I needed to come in. It wasn't, you know, if I had a class, go to a class.
That was perfect. Yeah.
Well, it wasn't that perfect.
Oh.
At the time, you know, obviously we have computers now that do all this.
Sure.
You typed a will. You could not erase on this will
Right.
at the time.
Right.
I couldn't get it done right. I mean, I would take forever. I lasted maybe a week, and that was about it. I couldn't do it.
Right.
I couldn't do it.
Right.
But at least that was my first. O'Neill's was another first job.
Gotcha. We all
part-time.
had those kind of jobs.
Yeah.
Well, one thing about the radio, unless you're, correct me if I'm wrong, but unless you are, you know, Howard Stern or one of about half a dozen other people, not a lot of money in it. I mean, people who do radio kind of do it out of love. I
Sure.
think.
Yep.
And I think that's one of the reasons why I love people in radio, because they love what they do.
That's why we're here.
Yeah.
That's why we're here.
Yeah.
You know, you have to have a bit of. You want to be known.
Sure.
You have to have that. You know.
And I'll tell you, that's something that is really striking to me. I was just talking about this with a friend of mine the other day. It's amazing how many people you reach through the radio. And people have been acting like radio's dying for like 50 years, right? And it's still alive and well.
Big time.
And how I learned this was from when I worked at the library. And this happened to me on a regular basis, Joyce. I would be at the desk just doing my, and someone would come up needing help. And I'd just say, is there something I can help you find? And they'd be like, are you on the radio? They'd recognize my voice. And I was only on the radio for like 10 minutes once a week. I mean, maybe a couple of times, like a half hour, but not that often is the point. And I thought, but man, a lot of people listen to WAKR, and
they did.
And it was just amazing to me, this is not about me. It's more about the fact like, gee, I can't believe that people would recognize my voice from the little bit I'm on there. So I can only imagine what it's like for Ray.
Yeah.
That guy can say 3 words and you know who he is.
You love him.
By the way, you have, I'm noticing here before we go, I can't imagine, the time is flying
I know,
here.
it's amazing.
But I'll just add that Joyce, in addition to this long career in local radio, you've done a lot of volunteer work and a lot of stuff for a lot of organizations.
Still does.
I'm not going to read everything, but
yeah.
American Heart Association, American Diabetes Association, the Arthritis Foundation. Big Brothers and Sisters down. It's just all kinds of stuff here. So you keep busy.
I try. I try.
Good stuff.
Right now, it's not as busy as these are things that I've done in the past.
Mm-hmm.
They were all fun.
Yeah.
I tell everybody, if I had to leave a charity because I wasn't having fun and I was only taking a seat and it became work to me and I just couldn't do it.
Yeah.
But I tell everybody, have fun, but do something.
Right.
Help people. Absolutely.
Right.
Love it.
Yeah. Well, that makes, it just makes life rewarding.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, I have another story to tell you.
Go ahead. We wanted. Yeah.
We used to do on television, I don't know if people know this, but the Beacon Journal the Knight Foundation used to own part of AKR.
Well, I didn't know that.
They were a minority owner.
Huh.
I don't remember how much. I think it was like 5%. It was very little.
Okay.
But John S. Knight was coming in for an interview on television. And one of the producers said, Joyce, you're going to have to put makeup on him. I said, on John S. Knight? Wait a minute. They said, yes, somebody has to do it. I said, okay. So the gentleman walks in. Nothing impresses me more than somebody in his stature. Mm-hmm. He walks in and he takes over the room. Mm-hmm. And I'm putting makeup on him. I said, sir, forgive me, but I have to put makeup. He had a tan. He was dressed beautifully, had a nice tan. He said, honey, I don't think I need it. I said, no, sir, you don't. Can you imagine, this is a titan in the newspaper business.
Sure, it's a legend. Yeah,
and
legend.
Me to put I don't think so. I don't think so.
So if anyone asked you, did you put the makeup on, you could say no, and if you want to know why, ask him.
Yeah, he's dead.
Or look how natural that tan looks.
Right. Yeah.
The other thing with politicians, I've had some fun things too. Mm-hmm. We brought in at the time Vice President Bush.
Oh. Okay.
The press club, the Akron Press Club, brought him in. And I was part of the press club at the time.
So this would be the Reagan era, right? Because he was vice
Which
president.
Bush?
Reagan.
He became president.
Okay.
Yeah. And he came in, the place, it was Tangier again, and it was packed. Mm-hmm. Newspaper people, radio, television, the media that was following him. Mm-hmm. And this one gentleman who put this all together got sick. So he asked me to follow up, which I did, And I'm standing in the back of the room, and they say, we want to thank Joyce Lagios, who made all this, to happen, et cetera, et cetera.
Yeah.
And I was standing back there, and we have some flowers for her. And this one television from New York, the television lady, looks up there and says, "Those are the ugliest flowers I've ever seen."
Oh.
I looked at her, I said, "Thank you." And I had to go up there and pick. They were the ugliest. Oh. They weren't even real.
No, really?
Oh, my.
And the vice president at the time gave me those flowers, and I said, "Thank you." And I went out the back door. I wasn't going to go up front again. It was horrible.
Oh, that's great.
It was fun. It was fun.
Was there a lot of security for that?
There was, but I can't tell you who or how or anything at the time.
I remember when George Bush, the elder, was president. Then after I remember him coming to visit Akron, and he driving down Market Street. Maybe he was on his way to WAKR. I don't know, but he was. But I just remember that it was like the overwhelming power just seemed, it was almost scary. I mean, there were helicopters everywhere, there were cars everywhere, there were guys, the security was really tight, which is, it's so strange now. We've had all these breaches of security lately with the presidential things, and it's just very odd. Yeah.
I remember being like in grade school and going to with Cub Scouts to see the Soapbox Derby. And for whatever reason, we stopped in the parking lot, one of the parking lots there, and car stopped, and it was Nixon. He was vice president.
Yeah.
He just got out of his car and waved all the kids, went back in his car, and drove away.
Yeah. Well, those are different times.
Oh, that's what I mean.
Yeah.
I remember in junior high, all of us being let out for a few minutes, Goodrich Junior High, going over on top of a bridge, looking at the expressway, as Kennedy road underneath, and we're all there on the bridge just waving. Who knows if we even saw anybody? But
right.
Well, Senator Kennedy came in, and he did not have. I think there were only 2 or 3 people with him. I mean, it wasn't a a group.
This would have been Ted Kennedy.
Yes.
Yes. Okay.
Yeah. This was right after Chappaquiddick.
Okay.
Oh.
Yeah. But there weren't that many people with him.
Yeah. It's I was going to say it's different times, but then we do have plenty of presidents that were shot years ago too. Garfield and McKinley, whatever.
Yeah.
Different world today.
Yeah.
Different world.
But anyway, on that happy note,
Joyce, thank you so much. What a great show.
Yeah, it's been very interesting to have you on and to hear your about your career. I just we love talking about radio and local radio, and you've been a part of it for 50 years. That's quite a legacy.
All the history.
Sure.
Oh my gosh. Yes. Yeah.
So
the changes.
Yes. Yeah. It's changed so much. Yeah. But the essential things about radio remain the same, I think. That theater of the mind aspect, people hearing a voice, communicating that way. I don't think you can beat it.
No way.
Yeah, I don't either. I don't either.
So on that happier note,
yes,
our guest has been Joyce Lagios. Thank you again, Joyce, so much.
Thank you, Joyce.
You're welcome.
And,
Thank you.
I'm Bob Ethington with Nicholis, and this has been From Akron and Beyond. We'll see you next time.
So long.